text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
You know, it was the last day for that anyway. I mean, yesterday was for my mask black. I'll explain. We ready? Hey, what's going on? We heard on July 19th, 2022. Here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate. Where your cash or credit does not matter, low risk, high reward opportunity. And today's topic, why can't you find a cash buyer for your deal? The thumbnail says, are you sure? She has my boy in the garbage can, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so you didn't get it.
I got it.
You got it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the garbage can has, the garbage can has cash buyer garbage company. So she had my boy in the dumpster. Oh, you got it? No. Okay, you can't find a cash buyer, but she got him in the cash buyer garbage. Anyway, all right, so too much. D, that boy D. That boy to go to school. Hey, reading is fundamental. All right. So hey, so y'all want to join us live here? Text the word Gator to this number 205-964-5243. 205-964-5243. This hour is brought to you by me. But also, if you need to set up your LLC, start to look like a business, get going the right way. Also, start to be able to take immediate tax deductions, access over 250 tax deductions once you sign up through my people over at PCS. You only have to pay for what the state, city, and county charges to set up a business entity such as an LLC. Also, you have an opportunity to start to focus on some business credit also. They'll help you with that also. So text BIZ to the number. Hey, one of the ways that you can partner with me, we're now targeting properties on MLS listed with real estate agents. Text MLS to the number. This video will explain how all of that works. So only for $100 you're in the game with the flip man. That we most have. So instead of driving for dollars, you can do that, right? And you can target properties nationwide. So you'll be in the game, but for virtual wholesaling, we'll partner with you on how to put all of that together. The reason all of this works is because of the paperwork. So text the word contract to the number. If you want to get access to the contract I've been using since 2003, been giving it away since 2008. Thousands of people have used this contract around the country, so it works everywhere. Not only will you get access to the contract, you'll also get a video that explains how the contract works for sellers and buyers and how to get it signed virtually. The lighting used to didn't dim like that. It had stopped doing it. Something we've done. Something. Because it didn't used to dim. It had stopped, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, just make sure you know what times we're live, Monday through Wednesday, 3:45 p.m. Eastern, Thursday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern instead of 7:05. So check local listing, match it up against your time. What else we got? Most people fail in this business because they never figure out what a great deal is. Boom, I got you. Text the letters GD to this number, and this will get you going in the right direction on figuring out whether you have a great deal or not. Text GD to the number here. Okay, so we got anything? I can keep going. Go.
Yeah. So let's start on YouTube. Everybody's saying hello. It's their family. This person commented before we even started the live. So hello. It said, I'm excited to learn what's going to happen next, empty fields now, how to locate motivated cash buyers. I'm excited. They're from Cleveland, Ohio. This person said, Kimbella, she said, I've been watching your videos about this wholesale real estate. How do I get started?
Okay, welcome aboard. Say they've been watching what they said they've been doing, Jessica.
Watching your videos and they want to know how to get started.
How to get started. It's really simple. You've already started by educating yourself. Everything you need to know is right here available to you for free. So it's up to you on how dedicated you are, because everything you need to know. Plus, the videos, speaking of that, if you text the letter, where is it? You text the letters VIP to the number. These set of videos will get you going in the right direction. I have over 800 videos on my YouTube channel. I don't expect anyone to watch all of those videos because you don't need to, right? So what we've done is we put together a playlist to help you streamline that process. If you text the letters VIP to the number, those set of videos are going to get you going in the right directions. So text VIP to the number 205-964-5243. And guess what's going to magically happen? What were their names? What was her name? Kimbella. Is that you're going to know what to do. Now, the business boils down to generating leads, right? Finding great deals. If you can find great real estate deals, you don't ever have to be broke, all right? So it's that. So start with the education. You're here. We're here to answer questions, as I put up the schedule a moment ago. So you have this opportunity to have your own personal seminar going on every day, well, 4 days out of the week in most cases, Monday through Wednesday. One Monday through Thursday, based on these times, 8:05 on Thursday. And so there you go. But you've started. You've already started.
All right. James Stokes on YouTube said, what should be the multiplier on a house that needs a full rehab?
Okay, so we were just talking about that. One of my friends is a contractor, and we just had lunch, and he could build a house from the ground up, so he knows what he's doing. And so I was asking about the $25 and the $40 thing. He said, generally speaking, you can use it because it just hard to just give a number, because you can send out 3 contractors, they can come at 3 bids. For us as wholesalers, we just need a generalization, right? So ideally, what you'll do is take the square footage, $25, and multiply it times the square footage of the house, if it's livable. If it's not livable, he said 40 will be tight. He would probably be more comfortable with 45 or 50. You know what I'm saying? But he said 45 would probably get you in the ballpark of where you need to be on a house that needs a total renovation. But he said he'll probably be more comfortable with 45 or 50. So there you go. So there's no exact number, because people will want different things. Contractors will make different bids. So you just need a generalization for what we do.
All right, this is the first question on TikTok. In this seller's market, are you finding abundance of motivated sellers?
In this market, are we finding an abundance of motivated sellers? Well, yeah, nothing changes, because life creates motivated sellers. I guess the markets, and just, that's part of life. But, situations, just living. Talk to 2 people today that, going through a divorce, and that's the reason they're selling, right? What color Instagram is? It's pink. Let me see. Instagram, y'all said it's hard to hear me. Hey. Is that better? Instagram? Okay, well, let's just might respond. But yeah, so just life, just divorce, death, loss of job or income, gas, tired landlords, house needs too many repairs, out-of-state owner, medical bills, C word, COVID. Just life creates motivated sellers. Regardless of what the market is doing, people are going to put themselves in, well, sometimes not them put themselves in situations, but situations are going to arise in your life that is going to cause enough people that sell, that own real estate to sell real estate cheap. Guess what? In order for you to get your share of those deals, those opportunities, you have to let them know you exist. And in that order, quote Mama D.
All right, somebody just made a statement. They said they saw you in English.
They literally said in Hoover.
White guy?
Yeah.
I asked him, white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke to him. He said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" Yeah.
He just wanted to give you a shout out.
Hey, what's up, man? What's happening? Yeah.
All right. This is also on TikTok. What system being used for automation?
I don't know if it's say automation, but just tracking stuff. We started to flow through a couple of systems: Slack, Trello, the CRM we promote. So it's a couple of them. Really more Trello and Slack right now.
All right, this one came from Eric Carney.
EC. Probably he may have been riding with us longer than anybody.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cause he's a student too, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said, should you change your number to Bumper even though you started with Google Voice?
Yeah, it's just gonna be a transition. You're gonna still have the Google Voice, so it'll just still be live. I still have Google Voice numbers from way 10 years ago. I only use them, but they still, attached to my email, which is that's that Google account or whatever.
You still access if people try to call you?
If I wanted to, I don't have it where it reached me, but yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was in the gold business, that we was using a Google Voice number. That number, pretty sure, is still working. I think it was 205-202-9530. They can call it. Ain't nobody gonna answer. I think that's what the number. Guess what the name of my gold business was? Gold South. Yeah, Gold South. I think I let that domain name go. It was good when it was good.
You should do it again.
I think the gold might have been empowered back up on the street again. Yeah, I don't know. It was good when it was good, though. Whew.
All right. This is from GMar49 on YouTube. He said, "Hey Flip, I signed up for Preview through your link. One question is, after we found a deal on Preview, do we submit it to you or do we send an offer to the agent?"
Well, if you want me to work with you, you're going to send it over to us so we can evaluate it and give you our opinion on what the offer should be. And if you need any more assistance as far as the earnest money or stuff like that. So, yeah.
He also asked, how do we get the agent to put assignable language in their NAR contract?
Well, don't even worry about it. Don't even challenge it or whatever, because you can always double close. Don't even trip about it. Yeah, but what he's referring to, you can partner with us on this. Text MLS, and this video here is a great tool. Even if you don't partner with us, I think you'll find this tool very useful. Text MLS to the number.
All right. This one's from Nicholas. He said, "Hey, Flip man, I have a potential deal that I've been looking at. Do you only partner on Bird or Wholesale as well? I'm going to try to lock it under contract, but I've never cold called before."
Well, really, the Bird stuff, that's you got to purchase it. So we're not really partnering on those. But Wholesale, assuming it's a deal, hopefully your numbers are correct. Hopefully you ran the deal through the deal calculator on dealator.com, which is free. If you want to access that calculator, just text DC to the number.
Okay. This one came from Dayanica. Forgive me if I said your name wrong. From YouTube, she said, "Do I need any type of realtor license to do this or any type of license? What will I be looking at in startup costs across the board?"
She said, does she need any type of realtor's license? And what was she looking for? Startup costs across the board? No, you don't need a realtor license. And you can start up. Can be your only monthly startup cost right here. Watch this video and it will explain more. Text MLS, and you may want to set up your business entity also. So if you want to set up your LLC so you can act and take advantage of all the business option, text BIZ to the number.
All right, this is on TikTok. Hey, I found a seller, but they want too close to the retail price for their home, even though it needs 30K in repairs. My offer is too low for them, even if it's a logical offer. Is there any way to make it a deal?
All right, so they're saying they found a seller, and the seller wants too close to retail, full price, as if the house was already renovated, ARV. All right, but it still needs 30,000 in repairs according to their estimates. You know, you're so far from a deal, right? So let's assume that the ARV on that house was 100,000. If we do the little quick formula that we use to give you something to go by, you got to have something to go by. We multiply that times 70%. So now we're at 70,000. All right, and then you subtract the 30,000, we're at 40,000. Now we haven't even included your money, even if you say you only wanted to make 5,000 on the deal. So now we're at 35,000, but they want 100. Gonna be tough to get to the number. So those you don't waste a day. Those make it easy for you to move on, right? Those make it easy for you to move on. They're talking full price, and you know it needs repairs. Know it needs repairs. So.
All right, this one came from Paulette. She said, if there's only one house to comp by the house we're trying to wholesale, does that make it a bad deal?
If there's only one house next to the house that you're trying to comp, or only one comp you can use, does that make it a bad deal? Well, is it only one comp and that comp works? Or is it a lot of activity, but you only really find one comp you like that fits, in the parameters that you're using to make that evaluation? So those are two different things. Now, if there's only one comp, yeah, it makes it easy. There's not enough activity there, but there's a lot of activity and you just only really find one comp to sort of fit, then it's still a little tricky because some markets are different like that or whatever. And it may be the other comps you can't use because they're a lot larger or a lot smaller, then that's okay or whatever. If the square footage doesn't really fit in that window, yours may be a lot larger than a normal property in that area or a lot smaller. So it's more about the activity than anything. So that's not a cut and dry thing. You have to just look at it on a case by case basis. Am I keeping this below 30 seconds? We're not doing that anymore. Are we trying to? Okay, well, y'all got to let me know. I'll tell you, we need 30 seconds up there. We need the phone number. We need something else up there. We need so I can see. It's reminders, and it need to be flashing.
She said Go South is a good name.
Yeah, it was good. I hate I let that domain name go or whatever, but I can come up with another one. Let me see, somebody stole my name. Stole my kin. Let me see. Oh, somebody trying to sell it for $4,595. That was a good name. Oh, the domain names? Oh, that's huge business. It ain't as big as it used to be. Well, I don't know if it is now. I ain't in it like I used to be, but that's big business. Like sex.com sold for like just the name now. Sold for sex.com, SEX. I think it sold for like, this is probably about 15, 20 years ago. Sold for like $20 million, some ridiculous number. I'm just using that example. That used to be a real hobby of mine or whatever. So the reason that I don't know if all of them are good or whatever, but that's why you'll see the domain names that I have, like Dealulator, that's a made up name, so, but it's rememberable, I think. It's brandable, as they call that. That's what it would be called in the business. Or like some of the websites I use for real estate, like, that is real, I'm sorry. Like for iCloseFast.com. That's one of the sites I use for sellers. It tells you what you do, and it's short. The main objective that you're trying to accomplish, not always, is short. Hopefully, it tells what you do, right? And you can get the .com. That's not as important as it used to be because of social media, and you can pretty much drive people wherever you want them to go. So it's not that as big of a, but people still do use Google to search things. And so, it ain't as big as it used to do. It used to be just a really big deal before social media became what it is. Because you can pretty much send people wherever you want them to go now or whatever. That's why I wasn't tripping about flipman.com versus flipman.net. Because they want to sell like flipman.com for like 50 grand the last time I checked. I considered it once before. It ain't even consideration now. Screw them. You know what I'm saying? They getting traffic off of it. I hope they doing something with it or whatever. I won't ever buy it. So, but yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one says, I have a property under contract in Georgia, but no cash buyer. It's only $165K, and I thought people wanted cheap housing.
Okay. All right. So read that back.
It says they have a property under contract in Georgia, but no cash buyer. It's only $165K. I thought people wanted cheap housing.
That's a good. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you because somebody got in mind. You know what? And I don't want no one to think that I'm belittling that question, but it's interesting how they asked it or how it's posed or whatever. So we're leaving. What I'm snickering at, we're leaving out too much information. Okay, what part of Georgia's a? Is it weird when people ask me where I'm from? I never say Alabama. I say Birmingham, Alabama, because Alabama is a mass territory of many small towns. Some are larger, just like Georgia is a mass territory of, especially Atlanta is a huge market or whatever. So I get it.
Usually I would say like, oh, what part?
Yeah. So the point I'm making here is saying what part of Georgia? Are you talking in the Atlanta general area, or are you talking in Jessup, Georgia? Somebody sent me a deal from Jessup, Georgia. Population less than 10,000. It makes a difference. Okay, we start there. We're in Georgia. Next thing is you say somebody wants 165 and they want affordable housing. Affordable to who? You know what I'm saying? So what does the house look like? What other houses worth in that area? Are houses worth 450? Oh, that's affordable housing in that neighborhood, right? That's like extremely affordable. I don't know what the condition of it is, but we have to now take in form the condition. My point is, there's more to it, not enough information for that question. Good question, because it made me go through that diatribe there. But yeah, so.
All right, Joseph Wilson said, I want to thank everyone for wishing my great grandma a happy 104th birthday. Yesterday, her name is Eloise Nunnally.
Miss Eloise, oh my God, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I had a great aunt, and she was like my grandma, because my mom's mother died when I was 4. That's my only memory of 4 years old that I could think of. Me and one of my cousins / best friend were playing at their house, which is his grandmom's house, the great aunt I'm about to talk about. And my dad had came and picked me up and said, your grandmama just died. But I don't remember no funeral or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then my dad's mama died when I was like 10 months old. So I never had a grandmother, is my point I'm making, right, that I can remember. And so my cousin I was just talking about, his grandmother, which was my great aunt, was my dad's aunt by marriage. She was like my grandmother. Until she died, somebody that literally died from sorrow, because her husband, which was my uncle, died like in, what year? Probably like in June of, I don't know what, 1990 or whatever. And she died in December of that year, I think. But it had to be just totally from grief. You're talking about a person I think she was 81 at the time. She still went out every day. And when it was, gardening season, went out there and did her thing in her garden and everything, food with the chickens, go get the eggs, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff or whatever. You couldn't have told me she wouldn't have lived to 100 years old. But after he passed, and they had been married 60 years, 60 plus years. Is it? I don't know what that's to. See what let me see. What number you on, Jess? It's for channel 1, right?
Yeah.
And what volume number?
I just turned it to 15.
Okay, mine was on 15. Turn it down to 13. See if it was too loud. But anyway, so you couldn't have told me she wasn't gonna live to 100. Couldn't have told me that or whatever. But she went quick after he died. Just quick. It had to be just grief. If there was such a thing, they had been married over 60 years. Yeah. She used to tell us. She used to tell what they talk about, young girls and stuff, whatever, to me and my cousin, and she was telling her how to pick the right woman and stuff, and she used to say, "Can't but one man tell if I'm a man or a woman." She used to say that, "Can't but one man tell if I'm a man or a woman." Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my God. Boy. A minute days at that house, boy. Hey, when drop your kids off, right? Be a bunch of us over there. Somebody would, if one of us went in there and told, and whooping was in line, she say, if I whoop one of y'all, I'm gonna whoop all of you. She was, I'm gonna whoop all of you. So, hey, that kept jokers from going in there and telling everything. You know what I'm saying? So, boy, oh, ain't Mabel. Oh, boy.
All right. She said, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your expertise, service, and information. Very much appreciated.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I was thinking about my Aunt Mabel. You're welcome. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I got tons with her. Hey, one man can tell she's a man or a woman. Oh boy. Well, I sort of went through that just a moment ago, but I'll go through it again. How do you deal with people that overvalue their properties? In this business, or just in real estate in general, you're going to deal with more than that's going to be more often than not. You're going to be surprised when people give you a deal that works, because you're going to encounter so many people that gives you a price that is so far away from where you need to be as far as it being a deal or not. I have a little saying, most won't, but enough will. Meaning most people are not going to sell at a price that works for you, but because the paydays are so substantial and can be, enough will, where it's more than worth it. So now negotiations is negotiations. I got a friend of mine, he was in here yesterday, and so I put him on a few calls. I mean, he wants to partner with me, which he's a very successful financial, whatever you call it. What does he call it? Well, finance. What do you call it? Wealth management or whatever. Best salesperson I know personally. Sell dirt to an ant, ice to an Eskimo. That's him. And so I put him on a call with a lady today. She wanted her number and was sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'd have been off the phone, right? 25 minutes later, she's considering the number that we want. You know what I'm saying? He's amazing. Just saying the same thing over. She telling us why, but he really pulled out of her situation, going through a divorce, went out and got a home equity line to buy the house, an additional property, and now he and the husband about to split up or whatever. He didn't got all in the woman business as far as how long they dated and stuff before they got married. She telling him too. I had him on mute because he wanted me to be on three-way because he wanted me to critique to see if he had the lingo and stuff down. And what she said? They have dated 6 years and only got married and for 1 year and going through a divorce now. Whatever. So my nephew was listening to it, and he was like, "Why would she do that?" Well, why would I say? Well, the first thing is, y'all know we're going down my alley now, is that them 6 years that they dated, whatever, they didn't just start having problems when they got married. They thought the marriage was going to fix them problems that they had, right? And it does not. You see what I'm saying? They should have already been broke up before they got married. You know, but they thought the marriage was going to fix their issues. I don't know this for a fact, but I've seen the game too much personally and people that I know. They should have never got married. But anyway, my point is back to programming here. So we got it down. So, he got it down to the number close to where we did visit. So we're supposed to revisit on Saturday. We're going to go take a look at the property and see if that number still works. But before, she was just adamant that she wanted to stay. Well, I'll just give you the number. She wanted $35,000 for it. We really need to be around 10, but she says she paid $15,500 for it. He got it down and say, well, at least get your money back so you can pay that back down on your mortgage or whatever. Or on the loan she got on an existing house. And so he didn't got all into, well, what you gonna do with the other house? And, hey, we may be able to help, he just got it. And she went waiting on the next conversation. Said she'll be able to show the house on Saturday or whatever. Point being is, see, I wouldn't have went that far, but he's an expert salesman. So, so it is possible, but it's a rare group of people that can do that. So let me just say that, and most of us know individuals like this, right? And he didn't even know he had that. All I knew him from college. We were good friends. We gambled a lot together or whatever, and still do. And he ran his mouth. He didn't even know he had those sales skills until the woman the young lady that he was dating at the time, which was a friend of mine also, before they got married, they had a kid, and he was trying to be a GA on the coaching staff because he played football at college where we went to. He was trying to be on the coach, but they didn't pay him for that. And so, bills were coming in. He had no money coming in. So he picked up a 2-week-old newspaper and looked in the classified sections. I know a lot of y'all you youngsters don't know what to talk about, but that's where you used to find jobs. And so he called it and went out there, and the guy hired him on the spot to start selling pre-arrangement at a cemetery. From March of that year to the end of the year, he made 6 figures. Next year, did the same thing. Convinced my crazy butt to go out there, and I nearly starved to death or whatever. Long story short, but he didn't know he had that skill until he was put in that position to use his communication skill. Most of us call it gift of gab or just joking that runs their mouth. A lot of us know someone that runs their mouth, but they ain't using it to make money. Right? He was fortunate enough to be just stumbled into an opportunity to be able to use that communication skill, because people that have that natural skill just to communicate, get people to believe what they believe, that's a lot of ministers, is that the way an effective minister is that they get people to believe what they believe. That's the difference in the guy that has the little small membership and the one that has the mega churches. They can sell anything. All they need to understand what it is they're selling. So to answer your question, normally when most people want more than, at almost full price, it's hard to get them down unless unless you're one of those individuals or you have someone that you can network with that has that skill. In most cases, it's still not going to be that you're going to get everybody down. Most people you're still not going to be able to get down, but some of them you will. Some of them you still will. Because he did talk to this other guy on a commercial property, and the guy wanted, so let's just say the property is only 20% full. He wanted us to buy it as if it was full, if it was completely leased. And so that conversation didn't last long. That would only last about 3 minutes. So I was dying laughing at him on that one. And he said, hey, it don't make sense to continue that. We're not even close if he wants to sell it at full occupancy, as if it was fully occupied or whatever. And another lady he talked to, she didn't want to come down. She wanted to sell her house based on what other houses are selling for in the neighborhood. And her house is not that. They make it note the houses she's talking about is a transition in the neighborhood. You have to make your house look like those houses to sell it for that. Your house is a long way from that. So, it doesn't always work, but in most of the cases, that's how it's going to go when people are in what I call la-la land as far as price. So there you go. That was the educational one. I know I went around the world, but I think I added a nugget or two. I'm bunning up.
All right. Okay. This one says, how can I get leads for motivated sellers without buying someone's system like PropStream, for example?
Well, what you can do is you can get in your car and you can start driving. It's one method that is going to cost you some money, and it's probably going to cost you more than $97 a month. That's one method, because you're still going to have a source to look up who owns it, which you can use the county website, maneuver through that. That's free normally. All right. You're still gonna have to get a phone number, so you're gonna have to pay something, or you can use one of the free websites to try to find phone numbers. So that's gonna be some you'll get, most you won't, right? And then you could just co-wholesale other wholesalers' properties. So you build a buyer's list first and do a lot of networking with other wholesalers. That doesn't cost you anything but time. So there are other methods that don't cost any money. It just normally most people, it's more difficult for them to stick to those methods.
All right. This one says, it's a question we get pretty often. Is wholesaling profitable in the current market?
Yes, very.
All right. This one says, I have built up a list of houses by jogging for dollars and bird dogs. My friend that was showing me the ropes abandoned me. I've only been as far as making a cold call, and I know nothing about the contract or what to do. I have friends that will do the cold calling for me that have telemarketing backgrounds. Is that right, or should I be making these calls myself?
If you're comfortable with making the calls, you should be making those calls yourself, because now you're leveraging your time. For now, at some point it would be more to your advantage to pay someone else to do it. But right now, if you're comfortable with making cold calls, do that now. But if you have friends with that background, you can partner with them. But they have to see your vision, where the opportunity is, leveraging their skill and their experience to reach out to people or to communicate with people. Basically what I just went through. Whereas the friend I was just talking about, he has no idea on all these systems and stuff and generating leads. He knows nothing about that. But you put somebody in front of him, you're gonna knock most of them down. You're gonna knock enough of them down where you can get paid handsomely. So, you those people that didn't have those telemarketing backgrounds, you definitely want to try to possibly see if they're interested in working with you.
All right, this is on TikTok. How
Oof.
can I flip a house in Philly and actually make money if I can't do any of the work myself, and the rundown houses are selling for double or triple their value?
Okay, read that again.
So how can I flip a house in Philly and actually make money, I can't do any of the work myself. And then the houses are run down, they're saying that it's triple, double in their value in that area.
Well, if I'm understanding that correctly, how can he make money in Philly on houses that are run down, and he's heard that houses have tripled and doubled in that area? Well, yeah. Well, no, good. You're here in the right place. You know, that's what we're here to talk about. Is that being able to put those deals together, and is you can plug it up on that side too, if need be. Yeah. Is you can just find the well, number one, you got to locate the owner, communicate with the owner, see if they want to sell, and then do they want to sell at a price that makes sense. So once you do that, you tie it up on the contract, and you can flip that contract. So now you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. You don't have to worry about having the money to buy it. You just put the work in on finding the great deal and basically exiting by flipping that contract to someone else that does have the money. And they will pay you handsomely to do so.
All right, this is on Instagram. Which is better for leads, vacant, pre-foreclosures, or free and clear?
Okay, which is better for leads, vacant, pre-foreclosure, or just vacants and then pre-foreclosure, then free and clear? So it's three of them. Yeah. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay, all right, I almost said vacant pre-foreclosure. Okay, so that's a good. That's tough, right? We're eliminating pre-foreclosures. Those they can be too hard, too much competition, because that's the first thing most people think about when they think about real estate deals or whatever. So vacants and free and clear. I personally like to target the free and clear because I know the equity is there to make the deal. The vacants, the number may be higher of they owe too much or whatever. So personally, both are good, but I don't care if it's vacant or not. Let me just say that. I prefer that it be vacant, but I don't care. I prefer a woman to be smarter than me if I'm dating them, or if I feel that way, but it's not a deal breaker. So, two things to be true. You can have other options.
All right. This one came from Henley on YouTube. They said, I can get a VA loan. How would you suggest using it to obtain leverage?
Well, from what I know about a VA loan, so how can they use a VA loan to how can they leverage a VA loan? I guess for real estate investing, right? Now, I don't know what the parameters are. Do you have to live in the property when you use a VA loan? I think you do. You know anything about that, Jessica? Your dad or anything? I think you. Yeah, I think you have to live in the house. I may be wrong on that. Somebody correct me that knows about those. To use the VA loan to buy a piece of property, I think you have to live in it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you could buy a 4-unit building or a 2-unit building or a triplex, you can leverage it that way, and you live in one of the units if they allow that. But as far as using it as an investment vehicle legally, I don't think they allow that. And I don't think you can get just one. I only think it can be used just once or whatever. So at a time, so anyone that knows, we're here to learn.
All right. Michael L. A. Can y'all help me comp a vacant lot? He didn't put the information in here. Yeah. Let's see. This says, you answered this already, but it's from a different person. They said, this is Robbie. What do I need to do to start the wholesaling process? I have the 100.
Oh, boom. Text MLS, and this video will explain. Text MLS to this number. This video will explain.
All right, this one says, through a wrong number while cold calling, I came across a motivated seller, but they're in a very small market. They're in Chattahoochee, Florida. Is $35K a good deal for 950 square feet, 3-in-1 home, new roof beneath total good.
We would have to know more information. Well, what's the ARV? How much activity is in that area? Is it a suburb of a larger city? You know, you wouldn't. Not enough info.
All right, this one came from Keisha Peterson. She said, I'm just getting started and I have my driving for dollars skip trace list ready. Should I calculate the ARV before cold calling to make sure it's a good deal?
All right, I just started and I have driving for dollars skip trade list ready. Should I calculate the area before? Oh, no. Oh, what she's asking is, should you do the ARVs on everything before you start cold calling? Now, I'm sure some people may do it that way to give if they like have a call center so they can take action on a call immediately or whatever. Most people don't have that luxury. So for you to make sure that you're being efficient with your time, you don't want to look up every property before you start cold calling. For the main reason is you're not going to get everybody on the phone, so that's time wasted, right? The ones that you do get on the phone, some of them are not going to want to talk to you. F off and don't call me again. Take me off your list. A lot of those that you do talk to that do want to sell, then you want to do those. And then after you do those, a lot of them ain't going to want to sell at a price that works, but you still have to run the numbers. So just those first two hurdles, even get somebody on the phone, even want to talk to you, that alone says no to doing that before, because we'll just use some simple numbers here. You may have a list of 100 people and you only get, 15 of them on the phone. So if you comp that other 85, how much time that's been wasted? You know what I'm saying? So, we'd say 15 of them want to sell out of that. That's a lot of time wasted.
Yeah, you don't know. They might want to work with you. So, like, even if you do the ARV and it's not a good deal, they might work with you if you talk to them and you get it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. This one says, being new, can you tell me more about how to go about calling people via the phone app as opposed to using your own number?
Okay, well, he's talking about the dialer. If you're trying to do this on a mass level to be efficient, to speed up the time, being able to contact a lot more people, you can go from being able to comfortably talk to 50 people per day to possibly talking to 500 per day or whatever. It could be as simple as that. Well, that's an extreme. We'll say 50 per day to maybe 200 per day in the same time frame or whatever. So obviously that's going to present more opportunities just from sheer numbers. So that's why. So calling with your phone, you got to pick up the phone, you got to dial it, got to wait for it to ring, boom. Whereas with this, it just constantly dialing until somebody picks up. That alone is the separation, but it also helps you manage your leads or whatever, get rid of the stuff that you don't want to call back anymore and the ones that you want to need to follow up with. It does so much more. So that's the main thing. But if that's the only thing that you have is your smartphone, I'm going to always side on doing something versus nothing, because you may not have this tool or that tool, so. Because it's only going to take one deal, and now you can afford a lot of these tools that we mentioned. So.
All right. Which is better for leads, vacant, pre-foreclosure, or free and clear?
They got us. They asked it on Instagram too, remember?
Let's see. This one says, how can I get some additional training with preview when purchasing through your link?
Boom. Okay. Yeah. Now they have actual lives that they do a couple of times a week where they go through the entire process. So you're going to automatically, once you sign up, get additional training there. Now their help center also within the tool is also really good. Also with the videos that they have there. Now we'll help you any way we can, but those lives that they have a couple of times a week, which you'll automatically get the schedule once you will sign up, they're very helpful.
Okay, which is better, a leasing agent or a title company?
Which is better, a leasing agent or a title company? For what purpose? If you're talking about running title, providing title insurance, it's going to be a title company. But if you're talking about a leasing agent, it's because you want someone to manage a property of yours, whether commercial or residential, depending on the type of leasing agency or agent, will work. But those are basically two different things.
All right, this is on TikTok. Are we doing the $2 deal before July 21st? Saw your ad. I was wondering if it was true.
Yeah, if you saw it, I pay someone else to do that. I have no idea what's running right now.
Okay. Somebody just made a statement. They was just being funny. They said, "What shine do you use on your head?" Just kidding. Much love.
All natural. When I go to the barber, It's more for the grooming of it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I can't do my little thin beard and mustache like I want to. So, but anyway, so when he, like to put the stuff on after they finish, I'm like, oh. Well, he already know. I have to tell him now. But, he like to put the shine on. No, I just naturally lather up, especially this time of year. You ain't got to put nothing on me. I'm just going to naturally lather up. Juices and berries. Oh, this is juices and berries. Juices and berries. As is ultra perm. Yeah, let's do the topic for today. What is it? Yeah. So why can't you find a cash buyer for your deal? Okay. So to answer the question is, it normally starts with a couple of things. Do you just have a property under contract? Or do you have a great deal? Those are two different things. Definitely can be two different things. Because if you just have a property on a contract and it not being a great deal, that answers it itself. You don't have anything anybody wants based on the price, the condition, obviously location. But if you actually have a great deal, and sometimes you don't know, there may be something broken, even if you don't know the first cash buyer. There's something broken in how you market your opportunity, market your deal. Okay, so well, how will I know that I have a great deal? And sometimes, even with my calculator, markets are specific. Sometimes in certain patches of different markets, you won't know until you either don't get any feedback and you've gotten it out there in a lot of different places as far as marketing your deal, that you're just too high for this part of town. I know what the calculator and the flip man say it should be. No, sometimes that won't matter. It's perception of what investors think of that particular area. And sometimes doing the calculator and all that stuff, and it created an even better deal because they actually would have paid even more. But my point is, sometimes you just won't know about that until you're just out there in the grind and taking live bullets or whatever. But normally it boils down to is that the reason most people don't find a buyer for their deal because they really don't have a great deal. They just have a property on the contract. Because they got happy because someone told them they'd sell them their property and they allowed them to, place it on the contract. So, and then if it is a great deal, you don't have a buyer for it, and I know that happens also, then you really don't understand how to find a buyer for it. And that's why you're here, I'm assuming. And so that's where it gets into the networking with other wholesalers. You can Google, just sell my house fast, network with all those individuals on those first 2 or 3 pages of results, real estate agents in your market. It's over here. Text the word buyers in this video will explain. Partnering with us. What else you could do? Other wholesalers, as I said, putting signs out in the area, house for sale, 112,000 cash, call or text, and your phone number. People that frequent that area know that's a $275,000 neighborhood plus. Or so if they see 112, they're going to call you. 112,000, they're going to call you. So either your marketing machine is broken as far as finding buyers, building a buyers list, and or it's just really not a great deal. So normally it's going to boil down to those couple of things. So, yes. Yes. Actually, I got a few things I got to get in motion, so I think we've been rolling pretty hard. Got some questions in. We'll do a couple more.
All right. This was it. Okay, this one says, I'm in Illinois. They only allow one wholesale transaction per year without getting a real estate license. How can I do multiple deals in a year without getting a real estate license?
All right. Solution number one, text MLS to this number, and you can wholesale outside of that state of Illinois. That's solution number one. But solution number two, and I haven't went through this in a minute. If you are there, why not just partner with a broker there, or agent? I think they're all called brokers in the state of Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. And if I was an agent there, I'm going to explain more detail, but if I was a broker there in the state of Illinois, I would be having Saturday meetings, and come one, come all wholesalers. You can run your deals through me. Come one, come all. You can run your deals through me, right? And I only want 25% if I was a broker there. All right. Okay. But assuming that doesn't exist, you don't know anybody doing that, then you can just partner with a broker, right? And what I mean by that is that you're going to leverage their license. They're going to leverage your marketing skills. So you're going to find the deal. They're going to tie it up in a contract. And whenever you all flip the property out, like I was talking about goldsouth.com and how they want to sell it for $4,500, almost $4,600 for every deal. You sell them. You could put a website on it or somewhat make it a little bit more formal or whatever, but you set up, if the street address of the property you have in the contract, 123 Main Street, set up a website, all would cost you all of but $12 to set it up, from the purchase of the domain name to setting it up through one of the free web services, like Wix or Weebly. And then you just put photos and videos on the site. And whenever you close on it, you invoice the title company or closing attorney, and your partner, the broker, signs off on it that they owe you $8,000. The assignment fee was $16,000. Your half is 50% of that. So you selling them that website for $8,000 for marketing that property for them. Boom. That's how you get paid. Tell me that's legal. Illegal. Tell me that's illegal is what I meant to say.
Let's see. This one came from Orlando. He said, how does negative equity affect me as a wholesaler?
Oh, how does negative equity affect them as a wholesaler? Well, those are deals that are easy to walk away from. And what negative equity means is the house would only appraise for $300,000, but they owe $350,000. They're $50,000 negative equity. So there's no opportunity there for. They owe more than what makes sense for them and whoever else. Now, as far as a wholesale deal, now still may be an opportunity that, based on the monthly payment and what properties will rent for in that area, it still may be an opportunity to cash flow. Rare, but possible. But for a wholesale deal, it's easy not to spend more than a millisecond of a second on that. No brain power.
He also asked, how do I find the title company, or does the buyer choose?
Okay, so how do you find a title? How do you find a title company, or does the buyer choose? Well, how do you find a title company if you are forced to do that? Networking. Use the power of social media. Again, you could join my group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, and ask the question, what title companies, what closing attorneys are wholesaler friendly in whatever the name of the city is? You could do that in my group or a local group to that market, a local wholesale group to that market. Now, should you wait until you find a buyer? I'm going, especially if you're a newbie, I'm going to say yes, because you can go out and find a title company, all that, and find a buyer for the deal, ready to rock and roll. And you say, well, we're going to close with such a, you say, no, we're not. I don't have a relationship with them. You want me to pay closing costs? We're closing with these. What they might even care if you're paying closing costs or not. We're closing with these guys. That's who I use. They're bringing the money to the table. Now, you can walk away from it and say, oh, no, I don't want to close with them. I want to close with these people. Okay, you can walk away from that bread if you want to. I'm not. But that's going to be up to you. But normally, you can get them whooped in shape if you've never had an experience or had a relationship with that title company or closing attorney. You just don't do that on the seller side. The buyer side is okay and going to be more normal process, because the one with all the gold does what? Make all the decisions. I didn't make it like that. That's been since dinosaur days. Dinosaurs had the gold. One of the gold when those are the T-Rexes, because they made all the decisions. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the apex predators, they call it. Even though in the Jurassic Park, I can't think of the name of the dinosaur on there. It looked more like Godzilla, right? But they named something. It was above the T-Rex. Somebody watched the movie. At the end of the movie, remember the T-Rex and another type of something both of them had to beat him. Both of them had to come together to whoop him. Oh, you seen it? Yeah, the new one. Yeah, the new one. I don't know what the name of that dinosaur is though. I just seen it Sunday. I just seen it for the second time. I just seen it Sunday for the second time.
All right, you want one more?
Yeah, we can roll one more. Let's go.
All right, this one says, how much money can you expect to spend before your first deal? Also, when you're new, how do you protect yourself from giving away too much info when you're trying to collab?
All right, so the first part of that question from Rob is how much money can you expect to spend before your first deal? It could be as little as $100. Text MLS, my man. Some people don't spend anything, Rob. That's a very difficult question to answer, because some people won't spend any money to find their first deal, because they may partner, they may build a relationship with a couple of cash buyers, find a wholesaler that has some deals that fits what the cash buyer wants, and boom, that doesn't cost anything. Not saying it's just as easy as I explained, but that doesn't cost anything, right? So it could be all over the place. Some people spend 5 figures before they get the first deal. Now, some of that's going to probably be on them on what they're doing, but it's all over the board, man. Oh, the second part, how do you protect yourself from giving away too much information when trying to collab? You mean like with another wholesaler or something? Well, if you got on the contract, there's no such thing as too much information. Because in order for them to help you, they got to have the address. Once they get the address, everything else they can find themselves in reality. Now, if you got photos, video, all that helps. But I'm just saying, really, that's the purpose of your contract. So, yeah. All right, guys. So we've been rolling pretty hard here. Remember, you want to partner the MLS and you need to set up your LLC, business credit, and tax deduction list. Text biz. Remember the contract. That's your superpower. I ain't even gonna worry about that. Where is the contract? Oh, remember the times. 3:45-ish Eastern, 8:05-ish on Thursdays. VIP. Remember, if you want to try to get the step-by-step process, text VIP to the number. And here's contract. Remember, this is your superpower. This is why all of this works. Text the word contract to this number, and boom, we're in the game. So with that being said, guys, remember, if you want to try to do text message, another way to find great deals, text the word text, and this video will help you out. So with that being said, you didn't get your question answered, post it in the comment section of any video. We answer those on a daily basis. Make sure you share, like, follow. I ain't got that one, but share, like, follow, and we'll see you guys on the FLIP SIDE. Boom. Oh.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know 205.